So this tutorial video will be demonstrating how to bring your design into Mastercam so we can toolpath, or in essence tell the CNC router how to engrave your design onto your longboard. So the first thing we have to do is, of course, open up your file that has your longboard design that I gave you and the design in it that you created. So once you have that open, the first step is to go up and unlock the hardware and the longboard layers. The reason we want to unlock those is because we want to be able to modify them, and when they're locked we can't do anything to them. So once these two hardware and longboard layers are unlocked, we're going to left click and hold the left click mouse button down so we can put a window around the whole object. Once you have the window around that looks like this, release, and it will select everything. We'll go back up, select layer 0. We'll make sure this says by layer. So we want everything on layer 0. I'm going to explode the design one more time. I'm going to type overkill one more time, put a window around it, hit enter, and click OK. It says 8 overlapping entities, so I'm going to hit spacebar, which will bring me back into the overkill command, or I can type overkill and hit enter. I'm going to left click, hold down, release, it selects the whole thing, hit enter, click OK. Now I have 0 overlapping entities. I'm going to select it one last time just for good measure and make sure everything is on layer 0 and it says by layer. I'm going to hit escape. Now I'm ready to save this drawing. It's now ready to bring into Mastercam. So there's 3 ways I can save it. I can type save as at the command prompt. It'll bring up the save as dialog box. I can go over to the red A, select save, brings up the save as dialog box, or I can go to the little old style floppy disk with the pencil on it, click save as, brings up the save as dialog box. Any of those methods will work. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give it a name. I'm going to call it final. I'm going to put my all caps on. Final design. I like to use caps when doing with the computer, working with the computer, because it reads quicker. I'm going to select desktop, and then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go down and select AutoCAD 2013. The reason I'm selecting that is because our Mastercam 2018 can only import versions of AutoCAD as new as 2013. So I'm going to save my final design as 2013. So I'm going to click on save, and there it is. I'm now going to minimize that, and here it is right here. That's where I saved it to. So the last or next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to weeks 7 and 8 of the Orientation to Technology folder. And I'm going to click on the Mastercam Longboard folder. I'll click on the 2018 folder, and I'm then going to click on the file that is the type I'm building. The only ones we're building in here this year are the 35s, so I'm going to select the Supersonic 35. You might select the Slim Rider 35, you might select the Skater 35, but mine's the Supersonic 35. So I'm going to right click on it, and left click on download. It's now downloading. I'm going to click on that. I'm going to move this back out of the way so you can see Mastercam opening. And this is a file that I have given you because it already has a toolpath in it set up. Setting up the toolpath and all those kind of things is beyond the scope of this class. Now, how do we move around in Mastercam? It's different than in AutoCAD. The wheel will allow me to roll in and out. I don't want to hold the wheel down to move the file around. That will not work, the drawing around. I have to use the left and right arrow keys. Right arrow key, left arrow key. And I'm using the up and down arrow keys. So I'm going to roll in just like this. The next step is to go to the word file and go to merge. We want to merge. We don't want to open a new file. If we open a new file, we'll lose all of this. So we want to bring a file into this file. So I'm going to click on desktop. Of course, here's all the things I have on desktop that it can see right now. Mastercam is going to default to looking for Mastercam files. I want it to look for an AutoCAD file. So I'm going to select AutoCAD. Then I'm going to go down and look for my final design, and here it is. I'm going to click Open. You'll get the Select Layout to Import. Just click the check mark. It will appear, and click the green check mark. So now we've brought our design into Mastercam. So I'm rolling in and out with my wheel, and I'm using my arrow keys. So I want to make it nice and big, just like this. Alright, so now we're going to move our design from the longboard we imported to the longboard that's in the actual file that you opened. So I'm going to go up to Transform. That's a word for change. I'm going to go to Translate, which is a word for move. So you move, copy. Click on that. Now it says select entities to translate or to move. So I'm going to go up here. I'm going to select Polygon. Where did I find that? Right up here, Polygon. So then I'm going to begin clicking on my file. If I need to roll in a little bit more, so I make sure I get all of my design without clicking on anything else, because some places it's pretty close, I can then use my arrow key to arrow over, just like this. And when I'm done, it doesn't matter that it's doing that, just go up here and end selection. Okay? I'm going to roll back out. So I've ended my selection. Now I'm going to go to the area. I got to end selection one more time. Sorry, I have to hit it twice. So now I'm going to go click on Move. I don't want to copy it. I just want to move it. I just want one instance of it. I'm not going to move it mathematically. I'm going to move it by selecting points on the drawing. It says Vector From and To. So I'm going to click on that. Then it says Select Point to Translate From. I'm going to click this outside middle right there. Okay. And then I'm going to roll out, I'm going to arrow over, I'm going to roll back in, and I'm going to click the same spot on the longboard where I'm moving it to. So I'm making sure I'm clicking its twin. Okay. Once it does that, the last thing to click is the green check mark. It's going to take a minute to think about it. Okay. It's done. I'm now going to go arrow back. I'm going to put a window around by going back up to here and selecting Window. Left click and hold down. That's the opposite of AutoCAD. Might work like that in AutoCAD. Click again. Hit Delete. So now I'm going to go back up to View. I'm going to go to Fit. View, Fit. I'm going to go to Home. I'm going to go Clear Colors. So now I've brought my design in and put it on the longboard I supplied you with. The reason we're doing that is because the longboard I supplied you with is in the proper position to be cut on the CNC. So we have some seal path out on the CNC that's going to help hold your blank in place, and this is exactly where it is. So it's important we get your design moved to the longboard that is in the correct position, the longboard that comes with the file. The last step is we're going to go to Geometry. We're going to click on the green icon, and we're going to go down to Polygon, just like we did earlier. And I'm going to put a polygon around my design. Roll in if you need to. Get as close as you need to. Okay. Then I'm going to click OK. And then you can't see it. It's not telling you. But I then have to go in and click anywhere on the design. Oh, did it not do it? Well, let's do it. Let's check one more time. Let's do it one more time. Around it one more time. I'm going to hit Enter. Oh, there we go. Hit Enter. And then it says Sketch Approximate Start Point. I forgot about hitting Enter. So I'm just going to click anywhere on it. It doesn't matter. So it's selected everything. Now I'm going to click OK. So now it's going to think for a minute. We'll know it's done thinking when all this is not grayed out anymore. So there it is. It's done. So I'm going to click these 4 cyan circles, which will put a check mark there. And I'm going to go up and click Regenerate Operation. So right now, see that X? That means this is a dirty toolpath. It means there's something wrong with it. And the only thing that's wrong with it is we've selected geometry and we haven't regenerated it. So with that check mark, I'll go up and click Regenerate All Operations. So it's thinking. It's done. And so before I do anything else, I'm going to go Save As. I'm going to save out to the desktop. I'm going to call it Final Design. And click Save. Now I can go up here to Verify And I'm going to watch and see what it's going to look like when you're cutting it on the CNC machine. So I'm going to maximize it. Here it is. I'm going to do something special. I'm going to go to View. I'm going to go to Isometric, turn it, and I'm going to roll into it just like that. I'm going to go back to Home. I'm going to turn the tool off so I don't see it. And I'm going to turn the precision all the way up. I'm going to click Start. Now, the video cards in our computers aren't fantastic, so they don't work great. They give you an idea of what it looks like. It'll be close. So let's just roll into this guy, and it's going to take a minute for it to think, and all these multicolored areas will clear up once it's done thinking. So we'll just let it sit there for a minute. It's doing all the calculations in the background. It's catching up. It's too much for it to do all at once. But once it's all done, everywhere it cut will be totally gold, and everywhere it didn't will be that salmon color. I don't know how long it'll take that to happen. I'm not going to wait if it takes much longer. You just know that if you want to see it really nice, you'll have to just wait a second for it to clear up. So it's always going to take longer than I want to wait. So I'm just going to go up here and I'm going to click Close. I'm going to go back to View, go back to Top, go back to Fit. And now my drawing is totally done. It's ready to go out on the CNC. And so I'm going to go File, Save As, to the desktop, Final Design, save it. And then the last step is you need to email your file to me, to the email address that's on the board behind the teacher's desk. And that is it.